Thank you for joining me, Dorothea, on Through an Orthodox Christian Lens. It is June 21st, 2025. I just have a few stories for you. Things are getting more tense, more concrete on what's going to happen, as we already know that we're in the first or second phase, maybe the second phase of World War III. But I'm going to share some stories here for you. Okay, so this was the afternoon of today. Iranian Supreme Leader Khamenei retreats to bunker, names successors amid Israeli assaults. He has taken an extraordinary series of steps to safeguard both his life and the leadership structure of the Islamic Republic amid escalating Israeli attacks on Iranian territory. Citing 3 Iranian officials familiar with emergency war plans, the report said Khamenei has suspended electronic communications and now speaks with commanders primarily through a trusted aide in an effort to avoid detection. The supreme leader, now ensconced in a bunker, has reportedly appointed a line of replacements down the military chain of command and also named 3 senior clerics as potential successors in the event of his death. Well, it's just sad that all this is coming, this has happened. I mean, there's a lot of innocent people that are being killed in this, and that's what makes it so tragic, because of crazy insanity and crazy minds and arrogance and puffed up chests and craziness, okay? In any case, the measures come amid Israeli threats to eliminate the Iranian leader. Yes, if I were him, I would not dismiss that, giving their record on that. The officials cited by the New York Times said that Khamenei believes either Israel or the U.S. could attempt to assassinate him. The report emphasized the seriousness of Iran's current situation, noting that Khamenei's son, Mujtaba, once rumored to be a frontrunner, is not among the named successors. Security concerns have led the Iranian Ministry of Intelligence to enforce strict measures, including a ban on the use of phones or electronic devices by senior officials and military commanders. Again, that's a smart move. It's going to be harder for them to communicate, but there were days when cell phones weren't around. I guess they'll have to devise a different way to do that. Okay, there's been no comment from the Iranian side regarding the report so far. Okay, the other thing, Russia's telling the U.S. not to join this war and not to try to strike the Iranian nuclear facility because it could be catastrophic and destabilize the region. Well, that's pretty obvious that would happen. It's crazy today that we are even attempting to hit a nuclear site. I mean, the danger of that is just, it's insane. U.S. deploys B-2 bombers capable of striking Iran's Fordo nuclear site. The U.S. has deployed between 2 and 4 B-2 stealth bombers toward the Pacific Ocean, with Israeli assessments indicating that these aircraft are capable of destroying Iran's highly fortified Fordo nuclear facility. The Daily cited a senior Israeli military official as saying that Fordo, located in a tunnel beneath a mountain near the city of Qom, is one of the facilities already designated as a target. If we are given the order to strike, we will act. The bombers departed from Whiteman Air Force Base in the U.S. state of Missouri and are headed west toward the strategic U.S. base in Guam, a U.S. island territory in Micronesia in the Western Pacific, accompanied by 4 refueling aircraft. It remains unclear whether they will continue to Diego Garcia, a key U.S. base located roughly 3,500 kilometers or 2,174 miles from Iran. Fordo is considered one of Iran's most secure nuclear sites, lying around 262 to 295 feet underground. Due to the depth and engineering complexity of the facility, military experts have long debated whether it could be completely destroyed, even by the U.S.'s largest conventional bombs. Haaretz described 3 potential scenarios that have been discussed regarding a strike on Fordo. One would involve a direct American airstrike using a massive bomb such as the Moab or massive ordnance air blast, which weighs around 13 to 14 tons and is released from strategic bombers. Another possibility would be an Israeli operation using U.S.-supplied aircraft, though this option is currently viewed as unlikely. The third scenario would see the Israeli Air Force conducting a unilateral strike using all available aerial assets, including stealth fighters and long-range aircraft. The newspaper noted that the urgency surrounding such discussions has grown in recent days. On Wednesday, the Israeli daily Maariv reported that Israeli officials are preparing for a possible attack on Fordo without necessarily waiting for Washington's green light. Well, I think that would be a waste of time, personally. Because I say that because I don't think their weapons are going to be able to penetrate what they need to penetrate to hit that nuclear city, nuclear facility. And it still boggles my mind that anybody is trying to mess with a nuclear facility. I mean, it was already nerve-wracking between Ukraine and Russia around the Zaporozhye nuclear plant and all that, and people were, trying to protect it, and the craziness that was going on there. Insanity. Not a good move. Let me show you this story. This is from Times of Israel. The enemy thinks that if it hits our nuclear facilities like Natanz, Isfahan, and Kondab, it would cripple us. Yet we'd already relocated all materials. Beforehand, we had no materials there. All the materials are still in our hands. Secondly, the scientists are in our hands. Years of experience in those factories where we produce nuclear materials, we still have those factories. You should fear trying to force the Iranian people to cross their defined line. It will cause you great suffering, a catastrophe such that you won't only be unable to remain in the region, but you won't be able to live anywhere in the world. Therefore, we are seeking to use this national technology to turn threats into opportunities. Create new capabilities from those opportunities. So, sounds to me like they have the nuclear materials to make a nuke, and I don't think he's just threatening to use it. I think that at this point, yeah, they're going to do this. It just implies that they're getting ready for this, or that they already have it. I'm hearing that some are saying they already have them. They just have kept them somewhere else. They already have these nukes, which makes it even more dangerous. So I'm going to go to Colonel McGregor. That really confirms something here I want you to hear.
Well, the war has just started. I don't think people understand that. And I would not expect it to win anytime soon, or end at any time soon. I think people grossly overestimated the impact of the surprise attack on Iran, in which we were ultimately complicit. I think President Trump did what he could to create the illusion that we were interested in some sort of negotiated outcome. And that helped to sort of disarm the Iranians, at least initially. They've surprised me with the rapidity that characterized their comeback. And their arsenal has now come into use. I was talking to somebody else.
So I bought a $500
time I
bottle of
decided
Creed
to play it,
Aventus because it's
it
the
puts in
world's
this
most
thing,
popular
which
fragrance.
wasn't there when I
Earlier
watched.
today, he was tracking the numbers of ballistic missiles, medium-range ballistic missiles with a 12 to 1400 kilometer range that had been used. And of course, they have over 3,000 of these, and only a fraction have been used thus far. So I think Israel is in for a long war, whether it wants it or not. And we are about to join it, because I think President Trump's announcement that he was going to take the next 2 weeks to think about it is nonsense. I think the decision has been made. In fact, I have sources on the inside telling me that it's been made. What's taking time is to assemble the air and naval forces that have to launch the attacks. You remember a few months.
That's exactly what I was saying. Those 2 weeks are just to give enough time for the bombers and everything to get to where they need to get, in the position they need to be in to do this. It takes a while to move all these tankers and, ships and bombers and, aircraft over there, and weapons and all that for this. So that's the news I have for you today. Things are just getting more and more dangerous. And of course, if you know the prophecies, we're in the second stage of World War III. There's many stages. And I believe there's 7 just in that. But I think there's more after that of what's going to happen. But in any case, I wanted to share that so that hopefully, if you haven't heard already, you heard it from me by sharing the news stories with you. Thanks so much for watching. Please follow my channel if you would on Rumble, and subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Like my videos if you like them. Share my videos at my channel. Get the word out. And if you have any comments, you can make it. Thanks so much. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday.